Was this Pancho Villa in a swimsuit?
Yes, this one here.
What's up? Is he Pancho Villa?
Yes, that's Pancho Villa on the motorcycle.
I imagine that back then it was something really strange.
Yes, and now any motorcycle from that era is valuable.
These ones are real. A mummified dog, a bobcat.
And a mule.
And a mule.
Yes, that's why they didn't take him outside anymore.
So basically his whole life was here in these tunnels?
Yes.
They rarely saw the light. Actually, they never saw daylight, except when they were little.
More when they were little.
Just look at that. Hey, it was pretty much like the Infonavit houses from back then. Look at how many rows there are. Hello, how are you, friends of Al Estilo Zacatecas? Once again, yours truly, Eric Marquez, here on the channel. Today we are in a very special little corner of the state of Durango. We are in the municipality of Mapimí. Surely many of you have heard the song about the two friends who came from Mapimí. Well, this is exactly the territory of that municipality. It's just that we're not in the main town. This is a community, or rather it was a mining community back in those days. And now they're practically ruins, what you would call a ghost town. So we begin our tour. Look, these are some impressive stone structures, just like they used to build in those places. And there are many examples of this type of town, like Real de Catorce. Even back in our state of Zacatecas, we have some in the municipality of Concepción del Oro, over there, right at the tip bordering Ojuela. There are many places like that. Well, now they belong to mining companies and are not accessible to everyone. I mean, you have to have permits and all that, but the advantage of this town, which, by the way, I haven't even told you the name yet, is the town of Ojuelos. It was a mining town founded in 1598, practically 1600. So it's been around for many years. Gold and silver were mined here. For many years, this was their job. About 5,000 people lived here at its peak, as they mentioned a little while ago. Now, as we can see, it's practically in ruins. No one lives here anymore. No, but I think it belongs to the ejido, to the local community here. Well, since it's very close to Mapimí, it surely belongs to that municipality. Unlike the other towns that belong to mining companies, it seems that this one doesn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this seems to be your case. Unfortunately, there isn't anyone here who can guide us about what building we're looking at. You see, these are complete ruins. And the interesting thing is to imagine how people lived here. It was said, I'm telling you, that 5,000 people lived here in this town. Back then, a population of 5,000 people was already considered a city. Because people basically lived in very small communities. Except for the cities, especially mining cities, where a certain amount of population was already accumulating. Well, a town like this with 5,000 inhabitants was already considered a very important place. It is said that this mining town stopped extracting material because its main veins were flooded and mines, which, well, made it impossible to extract more minerals. And it was decided to close it. But look, you all, here, I'm telling you, we don't know what we're looking at. We could be in front of a house, a school. When will this construction be finished? Just stone. And what I have seen is that there is a lot of stone, there's a lot of this material here in the region. So obviously they weren't held back by a lack of material. And as for labor, just imagine, it was extremely cheap. That's how these people were able to build such beautiful, huge cities. Because back then, obviously, it still cost money, but it didn't cost the same. The material was plentiful, which was stone, and the labor was cheap. So they allowed themselves to build massive structures. Obviously, they brought education, the schooling from Europe, which allowed them to apply that knowledge here. And that's what has survived over time. There are some photos circulating on the internet showing that this whole little hill, this entire hill, was full of little houses. Little houses. Very small. Practically bird houses. They were more like little rooms. The workers only went there to sleep. But we also see very important works like this one we're looking at here. Look. Well, and I also don't want you to think that this place is empty, that it's abandoned. It's not like that. There are places where you can eat, buy souvenirs. This is a place you enter by paying a fee. A fee to help cover maintenance and obviously so that the people who live here in the area can also have an income. We know of many communal lands that have natural or cultural attractions, and they take advantage of this to bring income to the town, and that's totally valid. And to a certain extent it's justified, because you have to clean, you have to maintain this place, so it doesn't fall into neglect. Well, friends, and this seems to be the crown jewel of the tour. It's a cable-stayed wooden bridge. It's over 300 meters long. It rises to about 100 meters in height, held up by these enormous steel cables that are definitely supporting it, so that it doesn't fall, obviously. There are also some cables that keep it from swaying, because, well, when there's a considerable number of visitors, this bridge, well, it usually moves from side to side, which, well, is dangerous. It makes the visitors nervous. And, well, also for safety, right? It's a very, very interesting construction. I saw that this bridge was used to take out the contents of the mines that are back there. We'll see that a bit later. From there they took out the material, gold, silver, and they brought it across this bridge, obviously to avoid taking it down over this rough terrain. So, can you imagine how long it would take to bring the material down? So, they decided to build this bridge, and that way they could take out the material much more easily. Well, friends, we're already inside the mine. You told me it's called, what's the name?
It's Santa Rita de Cáceres.
The Santa Rita mine, and we're here with our friend Jose, who is going to be our guide today. So, Jose, let's see, right now, where are we headed?
To the museum?
All right, well, you go ahead of me.
All the way up here. No, watch your heads. Those of you who are taller. So you don't bump into anything.
These stairs, were they already here from the miners' time, or did you put them in for the tourists?
These have been here since the miners' time.
How deep did you say this place we're walking through is?
And up to the museum, it's going to be 400 meters.
400 meters?
Up to the museum. If you want to connect all the tunnels, the total is 450 kilometers.
450 kilometers of an entire network of tunnels like this?
Don't forget to say hi to Juan. There's Juan.
This man we see here, what happened to him?
It's a demonstration showing how traitors were hanged before the revolution. You do know how they used to hang them, right?
Traitors?
Yes, because when they arrived during the revolution, there was no such thing as betrayal. And they found one, the one who was there. They used to hang them from above in here. That's why it's on display. Well, it's here.
And also to those who used to steal.
Yes, to the thieves, everyone. Up here, none of that exists. Anyone caught doing that would be punished.
Everyone has to walk straight here. If not, you're done for.
Yes.
You were telling me the mine is called Santa Rita of what?
Casio.
Casio. Why is it called that?
Because above this mine, there's another town called Santa Rita. They rarely mention that one since it's less well known.
I mean, we're underneath a town.
Yes.
And was that town also a mining town?
Yes. Well, it connects here.
What happened to that town? Did it end the same way?
It was abandoned, just like here.
How many towns in total were there that depended on these mines around here?
In total, there were about 50 towns. And in total, there were about 40,000 inhabitants. In total?
In 50 towns. Wow. And currently, around here in the region, isn't there a mine that's still operating?
Yes, down there, there's a mine, Lolo, at the entrance. One is inside, the other is going around. That's one of the ones where they extract minerals, and what they get the most is lead.
Lead, so this mine, after producing silver and gold, still produces lead today.
Yes. Now it's not full since about 500 meters below us there's a place filled with water. Fearing everything would collapse, they stopped exploiting it.
Because of the amount of water there is, it's already impossible to explore the mines, right?
Yes.
Well, it looks like we're already entering somewhere here. What is this place?
Here's the museum.
It's a museum.
Yes, here, right in front. Here you will find fossil replicas, because if a fossil is placed here, it's not the original one. Like these.
These are fossil replicas that were common in this lagoon region, right?
It's basically all of these.
Because they said dinosaurs were here.
Yes. But marine ones.
Marine ones?
Uh-huh. Because it was the Tethys Sea. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
It's called the Tethys Sea because before the meteorite hit the Yucatan Peninsula, this area was all sea. But when that meteorite fell, it hit and spread the water to the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean. And that's why everything was left uncovered. That's why trilobites and fish are most common.
That's why so many of these little animals were preserved, right?
Yes, or up there, the pterodactyl.
Or which one?
The pterodactyl.
No, seriously. This is obviously a replica, right?
Yes.
Since this pterodactyl appeared elsewhere too, as this area was once a sea.
Yes.
They say Saltillo even has a dinosaur museum and everything, right? What other dinosaurs were here in the region?
Since this area is more about the sea, you find things like megalodon teeth.
Megalodon.
Teeth about this size, this wide. Here you see sulfur in its natural form and color.
Sulfur is what people say you smell when the devil is near, right?
Uh-huh. Manganese and creedite.
Credit. First time I've heard that. These containers are probably where they got the material from, right?
Yes, he was the one who would crouch and go inside the shaft to reach the bottom. The shafts can be as deep as 1 kilometer or more.
Out here, before entering the mine, there was a shaft. How deep is that one?
The one in front is 400 meters deep.
400 meters.
But some larger ones remain around the mine.
Oh, wow. What are we seeing here, Jose?
What you find here is the transformed mule, along with the wildcat and the dog.
Oh, wow. Are these replicas or are they real?
No, they're originals.
These ones are real. A modified dog? A wildcat?
And a mule.
And a mule. And what are these little animals doing in here?
What happened with her is that since the mine was abandoned for 3 years, she was forgotten here inside the mine.
They left the mule in here all this time?
Forgotten.
Poor animal.
And since it had nothing to drink or eat and its eyes were blindfolded, well, it had nothing left to do and just lay down. And it changed thanks to the cold and the minerals.
And then, well, you think there are more than 400 kilometers of tunnel network here, so when would it ever find the exit?
And since their eyes were blindfolded. But this was put here in 2025 for exhibition. But in reality, there isn't a hypothesis that really tells us so, since when it's been modified.
And it was common to bring in mules to, I imagine, help remove the material, right?
Wow. Along with those materials, you'll see the canteens. We've had them before.
Yes.
The most durable ones. Yes, look, those can still be used.
I mean, just wash them and they're good to go.
Along with the shovel, pickaxe, and hoe. Or the sacks from before.
Wow, no, what a shame. What a sad ending this mule had. Back then, the animals really suffered a lot. Because, well, it was really abuse, right? To make them carry such heavy loads.
And here you'll find what's coming up, this device that was used before, which was used to make the drill holes with air pressure.
The drill holes? For those of us who aren't familiar with mining, what are drill holes?
The holes that were shown at the beginning, the round ones.
Uh-huh.
The ones on the walls were used to take samples from the mine, to see how safe it was and to check what kind of minerals were there.
So they would come, make a hole of a certain depth to analyze it and see what they had?
Yes.
Okay. Those are the famous drill holes.
Here you'll see a mining cart available in 2 versions. The square one weighs up to 1 ton.
Does this one weigh a ton?
Yes, when it's loaded with all the ore.
Okay.
And there's one that's triangular, which can weigh up to half a ton.
Nothing, I eat them tip down like a triangle.
Yes.
It doesn't have a fully sharp tip.
Yes.
Yes, those are common. I hadn't seen this before.
These are 1-ton ones, that's why.
And these rails, obviously, well, they could go where we were coming from, right? In those rigid corridors.
These came from way inside all the way out, all along where we're standing. This section is wide because it housed the mules, so they stayed inside with food and everything they needed. That's why, if you notice, it's spacious.
This was like the station, so to speak, where the mules were sent out, right?
Yes.
Hey, Jose, first of all, how old are you and how long have you been working here?
I'm 15 years old and I've been learning here for a year.
So, 15 years old and you're already working in these jobs? Do you live here in
Mapimí.
In Mapimí?
Yes.
We're talking about how many kilometers away it is, roughly?
2 kilometers away?
It's really close.
Yes.
And many people still work in mining in the town of Mapimí.
There are 3 main jobs: mining, manual labor, and recently they set up what is called a Eura, which is a factory.
Factories, okay. Hey, since we're talking about Mapimí, many of our viewers probably already know about it. There's a very famous song that made this town really famous.
The 2 friends.
What's the story behind that ballad?
Do you want to hear the song or what?
Well, whichever one you know.
See, we have the song saved here.
Uh-huh.
What I'm going to say is, do you want to hear the song or have me explain it?
Better if you explain it.
Look, because they were 2 well-known thieves who were from here in Mapimí.
The 2 friends were thieves.
Yes.
Okay.
They had 2 horses. One carried the money, like in the song, and the other carried equipment to change tracks, since they used to rob trains. That's why. And there was a time when they were captured here in the town by the elders and, of course, the police. But if you pay attention, because he prayed so much, he was set free. That's why they're so well known, and because they hid treasures throughout Mapimí.
And do you think there are still treasures?
People do find them, yes. Beneath Mapimí is a network of tunnels. All of Mapimí.
Uh-huh.
One of the tunnels, there are several tunnels. One is in the church, another is in the museum, another in the casino, and another in the gym. Beneath all those tunnels lie treasures, jars of gold coins and various items.
Yeah, well, can you imagine if there are 400 kilometers of tunnels here? How could there not be tunnels under Mapimí? I mean, that would be...
The other day, the Hacienda del Agua used to belong to Pancho.
Is the Hacienda del Agua in Mapimí?
Yes. There it is. I'll show you where in this photo.
What we're looking at, what is this, Jose?
This is the one I mentioned earlier. The tunnels below at 500 meters flooded.
This is when it already started.
To get flooded.
To get flooded, and as it continues, we can see they've already started struggling. Imagine spending hours there submerged in water, suffocating with no air, surrounded by water and disease.
Yes, many would sweat, drink the water, and it contained minerals. That's why they got sick more often.
Yes, it's said that you shouldn't drink water that's in caves or underground because it has a lot of minerals that maybe aren't so good for you to drink right now, right?
Uh-huh, and here is one of the mules that pulled the 1-ton square carts. There it's already loaded.
This is one of the relatives from here of the deceased, and yes, indeed, there we see her. These ran on rails or on wheels. The mule pulled them.
Yes.
But they were on rails.
To pull the cart, once the mule reached a certain distance, it couldn't come back out. Because if it got out, it would go blind. So it adapted to the darkness here.
Or, I mean, since they spent most of the time, well, blindfolded and in the dark.
Yes, that's why they didn't take them outside anymore.
So basically, their whole life was here in these tunnels.
Yes.
They rarely saw the light, actually. They never saw daylight except when they were little.
Mostly when they were little. You can see the hills developed new features. Some even started to look like faces. Let's take a look. Which is this one right here.
Yeah, you can see a face there.
Or the most famous, the one in Mapimí called the Sleeping Indian.
Sleeping Indian?
Which is this one.
Ah, that's the hill, the Indian's hill, right? It's right here.
I don't know if you can see the shape.
Yeah, no, here's the nose. Uh-huh. The mouth, chin, and forehead. Yes, that's very true.
Here's how the church looked before.
This is Mapimí.
And here you'll find a photo of Pancho Villa in a swimsuit.
Oh, wow.
Look. Which is the one in the middle.
Was this Pancho Villa in a swimsuit?
Yes, which is this one.
What's up?
And where is that?
In Mapimí.
Is this Mapimí?
Yes, the Hacienda del Agua, basically all of this. Look.
Water Hacienda Mapimí.
The water hacienda is basically all of this, which includes all the smelters, look. All of this. All these photos.
Weren't there coins from that estate?
From oro, yes? Yes, that's why they're considered treasures.
But, well, in some estates they made their own coins and even said so.
Yes, like that one, look.
This is the coin from here. Headquarters of the Water Estate Barracks, Mapimí Durango with the eagle. How about that, huh?
Pancho Villa was so close with people from the Peñoles company that they gifted him an Indian motorcycle. Look. This right here.
He is Pancho Villa?
Yes, that's Pancho Villa on the motorcycle.
The owners of Peñoles, the largest mining company in Mexico and one of the largest in the world. And that Indian motorcycle, which I imagine was something really unusual back then.
Yes, and now any motorcycle from that era is valuable.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Look, these are the half-ton wagons, the ones with the triangle shape. So you see, I wasn't lying about the thieves. Look, they had bridges in the middle to keep watch on them.
There was a bridge before the main bridge began.
Well, so they could keep watch on them from above.
Clearly no one could cross that bridge, right?
No, of course not.
Which was to enter the mine and access the minerals that were there.
And the bridge itself, it had rails and stops, because if you notice, the bridge goes downhill as you go out. That's why the stops were there. Each time it sped up, it hit one and slowed down.
You know, I didn't realize it was, I thought it was completely horizontal.
No, it just looks that way. It's actually tilted.
From here to there, it's going downhill.
Yes.
The speed bumps kept them from going too fast. Without them, just imagine how fast they'd get.
And they couldn't brake.
And, well, it would go, everything would fall down.
And if you look, you'll see the old train track where you went up for the mineral.
Was that the train track we just drove up to?
Yeah, look, it's well paved.
Hey, but I noticed there are some sharp curves. Did it go through those too?
Yes, it goes through there. It used to go through there. That's why the train was so small, so it could take the curve properly.
It was a special train, wasn't it?
Look, the train is like this, see? And it's really small.
That's right, yes.
And the steam area was in the back, and this one had it in the front.
And the little wagons were also small so they could turn without...
And it went up to the parking lot. Here, it's to show it wasn't only mining. Here you'll find the baseball team.
Baseball equipment from...
From here, down here, look, the music group, the school and the church.
Notice that right at the beginning of the video, over there in the parking lot, that's what I was mentioning, that there were more towns like this one that even had theaters and casinos.
There used to be a road here.
They also had that kind of entertainment?
Yes, they had all that entertainment. They had it all, market, hospital, everything.
And it was just for the workers, so they would spend their money there. So basically the owner of the mine was also the owner of all those businesses, and the money stayed there.
Yes, and look, this was during the revolution. Just so you know, it was during the revolution and later, during the festival times.
These were the little houses, right? The small rooms where the workers slept. We can see that here on the little hill, on the small hill, right as you arrive. You saw that row of little houses, right?
That you can see from the front here.
Just look at that. Hey, it was pretty much like the Infonavet houses. Since then, look at the rows. What material were they made of? They looked like sheet metal or maybe wood.
Wood and sheet metal, so they could be repaired faster.
Because obviously the important buildings, those were made of stone, done properly. And these, well, yes, for the workers, just the simplest, the most...
Take the hospital, for example. What are now the bathrooms, but before it used to be a hospital, which was 2 stories.
Can you come here to visit now?
Yes. Down there you pay an extra fee and that's it. It's about $350. You can stay overnight and enter the mine whenever and as often as you like.
Wow, and what if someone wants to come along?
Yes, there are people who are up for it.
You know, in Real de Catorce, over there in San Luis Potosí, there are also towns like this, but over there they tell some really scary stories, tales of fear and fright.
And here they really do happen.
Do things happen here too?
At night you can hear screams. They sound like they're from a little girl.
A girl?
There are several out there. Recently, while camping, I heard those screams.
Screams of a girl. And where do they come from?
From here, from the mine, toward that side of town.
The screams come from inside the mine and carry outward. And what do they scream? Just that, nothing else.
I scream just normally. Souls in pain linger or fall while miners emerge from the mine and cross the bridge. You can only hear them, but you can't see them.
You can hear footsteps, the wood creaking.
Yeah, like they're walking around and... And here, the one who's going to find it is William Hildegard, the German who created the bridge's blueprints, which are these.
These are the blueprints of the bridge that we crossed, obviously, to get here. Well, I read a bit before coming here, and I heard that this man who built this bridge was inspired by or built the Brooklyn Bridge in New York.
Yes. If you notice, the Ojuela Bridge was built before the Golden Gate.
First, this bridge was built, the one we're looking at here, the one we saw at the entrance, the one here in Ojuela, which is this one, and then he built the Brooklyn Bridge. This one was first.
The one in Ojuela.
The one in Ojuela. I mean, first here you can see, so to speak, here you...
The test.
They ran their test.
Yes, to see if it was resistant.
Let's go to New York and build the bridge. Wow.
You risk the Mexicans first, but it always works for us.
Oh my.
Here's a good example so you can see that the bridge is tilted. Look. Here, if you look, it goes straight. Oh, straight here. Straight ahead. See how it goes straight? This line shows me, look.
Oh yes.
And then here it goes down, look. Here the line is starting, look.
Do you think that slope was intentional to help the minerals come out faster? Or is it because of the terrain?
It's because of the terrain.
Ah, okay.
Because if you notice, there are tectonic plates that can still rise and fall further.
Well, yes.
Here we have pay booklets, updated examples of what workers used when they were paid in company script.
This is how the famous wage payments looked like in the haciendas or here in the mines.
On this side is the amount they were paid per month, week, or every 2 weeks. Just take a look.
34 pesos to Francisco Aguirre, 66.50. I think I had more power. Better job. And the one who got the least was this one, Nicolas Monares, 32 pesos for the same period. Almost half of what the highest earner made.
Yes.
Using those cards, you would go and get paid
The money.
your pay,
Yes.
and then you would go to the casino and gamble.
Yes, but...
So here, as we keep walking with Jose, he's telling us something that's very important and interesting. Notice that here, this little drop of water is falling. There. It's water. It's one they call like
Stalactite.
stalactite. And one, out of curiosity, I mean we didn't do it, but you might be tempted to touch that water, but you shouldn't touch it. Why, Jose? Tell us what happens.
When you touch it, just treat it like it's alive.
A living being.
Because it has its own kind of metabolism. And if you notice, like this hill, it depends on how big the hill is. Like here, it's already been over 200 years for the water to make its way down here. When you touch it, a small electric current passes through, causing the water to move sideways instead of falling straight down.
So if I touch that little drop that's falling, that I think is falling, but in the end it stays there, what I'm going to do is cut off the water. And we can see it here on the side. Look, that was happening on one side, and then someone out of curiosity, well, there it fell by itself.
Yeah, nothing happens there.
If it falls by itself, it's fine.
Yes, because now another will form below, called a stalagmite.
And the one receiving it, right? So to speak. So, whoever touches here will completely cut off the water from the other one. And that's it, is dead, so to speak, right? Yes. It's a really interesting thing that I honestly didn't know about. And it's good to know because if someone, out of curiosity, goes and touches it, they might say, look how nice, how interesting. But behind that little drop, there are 200 years worth of water trying to fall from above. Interesting fact. Well, Jose, I want to thank you for the time you helped us during the tour. Congratulations, because at 15 years old you have a good command of the information you're explaining to us here, and you say you've only been doing this for a year, so you're learning a lot very quickly. You're going to be, and already are, a good guide. So, I appreciate the time you gave us, and I want to give you this so that...
Thank you.
So you can help yourself, and also as a thank you, please. And Well, I don't know if you want to send a greeting to the people who are watching you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you'll visit soon since it's not being promoted, so I'm promoting it myself.
Yes, really, honestly, there isn't much promotion of this. Tell us, what days are you open? When is the best time to come?
Look, it's cool to come here. Well, they're open every day, right? All year round. There's not a single day they're closed. It's best to come during the week so you can go alone, take better pictures, and stay longer. And there aren't that many people.
Whenever you want to come here to this area of Torreon, the Comarca Lagunera, take a little trip. It's about an hour away and you can come see this beautiful, impressive place. And while you're at it, you can go to Mapimí and visit the town that inspired that famous ballad about the two friends. And we're still here with Jose. To wrap up the video, you were telling us that your grandfather was a miner.
Yes. Those who were the Aguirre family?
The Aguirre family.
Aguirre.
They are a very famous family here in the region.
Not all of them, but it was a mining family. All the payslips inside where they were say Aguirre. They were all my relatives.
Relatives. And from there, well, you obviously have that knowledge that you shared with us from your grandfather. He told you about it.
Yes.
And well, when we started the video, we didn't start from the shore. Look, here's the mine entrance. The Santa Rita mine.
Yes, Santa Rita of Casia.
Of Casia. And here we see above part of the structure that holds up this impressive bridge, which, well, we'll see in another video, but it's part of the attraction here in Ojuelas. Come with me to check out that mine shaft. I find it really interesting.
Yes.
What's up with this little donkey?
It's for taking pictures and as a demonstration of what was here inside the mine.
Oh, about the mules.
Yes.
That we saw, right? You know, it's really, really beautiful. It's...
In parts.
Honestly, it's like touring the mine and touring the town. It's like two attractions in one. And besides, we see over there that there's a zip line and there are other very interesting activities. But what about the one we're going to now?
This is called a contratiro because it's different from a shaft. The shaft needs to be straight with no ledges. Like this. This is a contratiro. The shaft is down there.
Like a perfectly smooth well.
Deep and straight, smooth.
And this contratiro must be intentional. It should be like a zigzag, so to speak.
Yes.
And what's the difference?
You can't lower anything here, not even one, like that day with the arch above. You can't add anything like that to this one. This is where miners descend with ropes. So, holding on alone, they don't go down in the tub, which was the iron tub inside there.
I mean, the miners would come down here with ropes. And that way, obviously, if something happened, you wouldn't go all the way to the bottom with nothing to stop you.
Yeah, and then what happens is that this connects with the flooded sections, which you can't see in the photos.
And at the same time, these serve as vents so the mine can breathe, right?
Yes.
Hey, no, Jose, this is impressive. Honestly, your work is really cool. Congrats. You did really well for your first video because that's what you told us. And thank you so much, friends, once again for joining us and watching these videos. I hope you enjoy them. If you enjoyed it, like and comment. See you next time. Your friend Eric Marquez. Goodbye.